You show me? Okay, hold on. Let me. I'm such a guy. I fill up the screen. All right. Hello, everyone. This is my friend Dolores, and I'm at her shop, Cool Under the Collar, and we are here today to talk about holistic grooming. Because when she brought it up to me, and I didn't want to tell her, I actually don't know what that means. You know, like, what does it mean?
Well, that's what we were trying to figure out, and everybody else is. They're having arguments over it on Facebook, so I thought, well, we should probably address it.
Exactly. So I'll ask you, I'll just go ahead and say, in your opinion, if you're just trying to give me a layman's terms definition, in your opinion, what's holistic grooming?
It's overall health of the dog's skin, hair, nails, the shampoos that you use, the stress level in the spa environment or the cage-free environment. I wouldn't think a cage would fall into that, would you?
Yeah, I don't know. So if somebody tells me that their dog has been crate trained, they're comfortable in the crate, they would rather me put them in the crate, then yeah, so I don't really have any like rules, like I always do this or I never do that.
Right, yeah. So
it's always like sometimes I'll, you know.
It's more comfortable because I have two Shibinis, and Mom leaves their carrier because while I'm doing one, the other stays in the carrier because it's a comfort. It's less stress. So that's what I'm saying.
So yes, sometimes. So I guess that would. So would that be considered a holistic approach? Is for this dog that likes to be in a kennel, I'll kennel this dog. But another dog that does not like to be in a kennel.
Yeah, because
so
you're taking over the overall health of that particular dog or cat, whatever it is, because of the fact that you're thinking about their overall well-being, stress-free, calming, psychological, emotional. Because that falls into the definition of holistic medicine.
Okay.
So, and then holistic psychology or whatever is totally different. I mean, it's got and you picked up that definition.
Yeah. So when I was at Elizabeth's shop, let me see if there's any questions coming in. But when I was at Elizabeth's shop, hey, my favorite dog dad, David. David T's watching.
Hey, David.
Oh my goodness. Now I'm less interested in doing this stream. Now that I know that David's here. I'm kidding. But yeah, so when I was at Elizabeth's shop, Lizzie's Fluff and Buff this past weekend, they brought up the fact that they're fear-free grooming. They've both been certified, they took a course on fear-free grooming, and that's considering the stress levels and things like that, and taking into consideration each individual dog and what this dog needs compared to what another dog, and not having a cookie-cutter approach, not having like, this is our process no matter what. And so that would be considered fear-free grooming, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, that's what they want to call it. Because that's basically, I mean, what is holistic?
Yeah, see, even this morning when I was at Pet People, that shop, I saw holistic, the word, on several different food bags.
Right.
And I asked the manager there, what does that even mean, holistic food? Yeah. And she was like, I don't know.
It's the newest trend, right?
Yeah, so I mean, because it's not organic, holistic doesn't mean it's organic.
No. It's not GMO free. It may be, it may not be, but that doesn't necessarily, because holistic is overall. So like we were talking earlier, sometimes they can have dental care in it, they can have stomach issues. So holistic is whatever the vet would recommend, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a vet prescription diet, just something to help the overall health of the dog's skin, stomach issues, maybe they have yeast infections from certain foods, whatever.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Dental health.
Because I feel like it's like a marketing ploy, you know. I just feel like it's just fancy, like because
I feel that way too.
How
are you guys feeling about it?
Yeah. So when you go into a dog to buy dog food, are you looking for holistic on the packaging? And if it does have holistic, the word holistic on the packaging, does that make any kind of effect on whether or not you buy that food? Because when I think of holistic about dog food, I'm thinking all natural, no preservatives.
Right.
But then that's not true either when you read the label.
Right, yeah, because it has to have also the nutrition that they need, but what kind of factors into it per se? Like, okay, say, what is it, Royal Canin? They specifically have a breed. A dog this, a dog of that, say it's a Schnauzer breed, that's what they sell for that.
Okay. That way, just in case comments come in, I can
Yeah,
get
we
to
can
it.
actually see it.
Yeah.
That way, so you can-
And also, can you guys hear us fine? Hopefully the audio is okay. There you go.
so you might-
Once I hit it
Can you see
big,
it? Can you see it?
oh, they don't even need to see me. Once I hit it big, we'll have professional mic and everything. But anyways, so let's just, I guess, because if we don't really know what the word means, then
Somebody say something, looks like somebody might say
oh. Okay, Shiro says we can hear audio, so perfect.
something. Okay,
Awesome.
Thanks.
So, like for example, if this beer said holistic on it, holistic beer, I mean,
What would that mean?
that's pretty much what they're doing with the dog food, right? Am I wrong? I don't know.
I don't think so.
Because when I read the labels,
They look the same as every other dog food on the shelf. Maybe it started, instead of saying water in the beginning, it says something else.
yeah.
Or saying chicken broth or,
So let's rewind. Let's back up a little bit, because what caused you to even become curious about this? You've seen this in
Yeah,
many
they're-
grooming groups,
yeah.
arguments even.
Yeah. They were having arguments or discussions anyway. I'll say discussions, I wouldn't say arguments, but everybody was trying to figure out what it meant.
And because some groomers are actually advertising it on their website and everything as a holistic groomer.
Right.
They say that I'm a holistic groomer, and it's like, as opposed to what, you know?
Yeah. Now, there was one holistic groomer in somewhere near Tampa, Florida, right outside, anyway, I don't know, south or north, I don't know. I haven't been in Florida in 35 years, so I don't remember. Anyway, so anyhow, that has been doing holistic grooming for probably, I think she says she's been there in that place for 15 years or more.
Okay.
So she has been advertising holistic grooming for 15 years. So she does overall everything. I mean, she's got massages, she's got it all.
Okay.
So that's how she's considered, because I had to look some of this up, because I was curious if you type in holistic grooming, what comes up? Now, in our area, there's a few things that come up. They don't advertise as holistic, they just advertise as spas and, what is it, one-on-one.
One-on-one, that's becoming popular.
Yes,
One-on-one grooming.
and also fear-free, cage-free, dryer, cage-free, no drying on the cages. That's what everybody's doing.
Yeah.
So it just comes up, if you were to Google in your area and find out holistic groomers, there might be one that pops up that says holistic grooming. And they may have been there for 18, 20 years.
Yeah,
So-
and now all of a sudden you're a holistic groomer because it's trendy.
Right.
But with your friend in Florida, it seems like her criteria might match the description of the definition. When you ask Google what holistic means, it sounds like she's doing massage and she's doing other things.
Yeah, she's got aromatherapy going, she's got, like these bath bombs that she makes herself
Oh wow.
for the dogs.
Yeah, so I'm imagining her as a hippie in my head right now.
Me too.
I mean, and that's what
And that's kind of what the place looks like. You know?
That's so funny because when I hear a holistic groomer, that's what I imagine. Incense,
Yep.
chanting in the background, maybe like a Tibetan bowl.
Well, they've got special music going on for the dogs, and according to what room they're in.
Uh-huh.
So the rooms pipe in different music for different dogs.
Yeah.
High anxiety dogs get one kind of music, dogs that are aggressive get another kind of music. So she's very, like I said, the holistic grooming part of it, as far as that goes, it goes for overall health and stress of the dog, emotional and physical.
Asking about the dog's lifestyle,
Mhm.
considering taking everything into
Yeah.
consideration.
Exactly.
Because I think.
So as a whole, like the word holistic without the W on it. Just
Mhm.
holistic, the whole being.
So then I guess what I do is I guess I'm kind of a holistic groomer because like if I see the dog is getting uncomfortable on the table, I'll let them down, take them for a walk, and do other things because I'm taking into consideration the dog's emotional and not just physical well-being, but emotional
Yeah.
well-being, mental. You know, like I want the dog to be comfortable and have a pleasant experience.
Somebody said something looks like.
Interesting. So I guess I am a holistic groomer, right?
Yep.
June, you're almost out of frame now, but that makes the video look better anyway.
That's what I told him. I said,
Oh,
yeah,
my
I said, we
goodness.
got there.
No, that's David T talking.
Oh, is that David?
Yeah, I mean, David has no substance. You know what I'm saying? Whatever he says has no substance or meaning. I don't even.
He's laughing for you, David.
I'm just kidding. But
Because I can't touch anybody right now. I'm
David's
6 foot.
doing well, right? I talked to him recently. He's busy. But anyways.
Well, that's good. Busy's good. because especially during this time, I've got a lot of friends that are boarders and dog sitters that are just dead.
You know, the thing is though, David T, my favorite dog dad, he could be considered a holistic groomer too, right?
Yes.
Because
yes.
he breeds the dogs.
Yeah, and teaches you how to do it from the start, right?
Yeah, he teaches
and trains them.
training,
Yes.
everything, not just grooming.
Right, he does the whole overall health of the dog from beginning to end.
Yeah.
Until the owners take over completely.
Yeah, and then he trains the owners. He teaches them how to continue.
Yeah.
So he would be a holistic groomer.
Yeah, he would be considered holistic.
Look at that. I no longer want to be a holistic groomer. I don't want to be associated with it. Shiro says, Shiro 182, I definitely think so. With your thoughts, philosophy on grooming, does that count towards being holistic? I guess so, right? Because in the way Google defines holistic, it was saying that it takes all the like various parts that make up the whole.
Yeah.
So it's taking into consideration all of the aspects of the dog's well-being. Yes, you know, if you want to apply it to dog grooming, right?
Yeah, so basically, when I looked up and did several different searches on several different ways of doing it, grooming, overall health, and all that stuff, basically what I came up with, just kind of rounded it up, it was like holistic grooming equals the manner, basically, which means pets' well-being in its entirety, a good groom, a great groom, overall sense of well-being, a groom that gives the look of a healthy coat and skin for healthy, happy dogs and pet owners as well. Because everybody comes and goes, and you want the dog to go to the groomer happy, not stressed out and shaking. Because then a lot of you probably know someone come in just shaking and scared and fearful.
Or they leave that way.
Yeah,
That's not good.
And that's not good.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's like when June probably goes to the houses, they're happy to see you, right?
Not all of them, I'll be honest. No, seriously.
I'm sure.
A lot of them, they see this, and it's not that they don't like me, they just don't like the whole getting on the table, getting groomed,
Yes.
brushed, and so they see me and they'll come and say hi, and they'll go and, you know, but it's like my kids trying to get them to take a shower at night, you know, like they don't want to do
But
it.
then when you get them in the water, then they don't want
They
to get
feel
out.
great, yes,
Yeah.
and then
They
by the
want
time
to
I'm doing the haircut, the dog's loving it,
Yes.
and they're proud of themselves. But
Yeah.
it's getting them to brush their teeth, you
Yeah.
know, it's like, come on, just do it. And I'm
Right.
like, no, they're kids, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'll be honest though, I wish when I walked in the house, all the dogs would come and love me. But sometimes they look at me like, it's that guy. And they walk off and they give me this look. I'm like, wait a minute, why are you giving me the side eye, you know? Like,
See, and my pet parents have the effect that their dogs pull them in here. They can't wait to get in, and they're like so happy that their pet parents are like, oh my God, they just couldn't wait to get here.
well, I think that's because like the way you set it up and everything, it's like coming on a play date or coming and having fun for them. Like this is a fun place for them to come and they feel good. I think for me it's because I'm coming into their home. Maybe they look at me like this guy that comes into their home and
violates me.
Hygiene. Who wants to do hygiene? I don't like to groom myself. I hate taking a shower at night. You know what I'm saying? If I could get away with it, I would never shower. But that would lose my business. So I have to shower. But you know, it's like I don't know. I think maybe it's because I'm coming into their house and they feel like you know I'm kind of disrupting their routine. Maybe it's something like that. But they are comfortable though when I get them on the table and they're grooming.
You can see that in them. They're very relaxed.
Yeah, and then mom and dad can walk by. They feel comfortable and safe. But it's just getting them. It's kind of like my daughters. Once I get them in the bathroom, they'll brush their teeth and you know. But I think maybe because you set your and so you're a holistic groomer if you think about it because you do use diffusers, you use essential oils, aromatherapy. You're considering.
And I've got the music going.
The music, yes, you have
Just
the
like
nice.
you have the music too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the music.
Calming.
So I guess that's what holistic grooming, the criteria, if we're gonna make a criteria of what would make holistic grooming holistic.
So when you go to each individual dog's house, do you use the same shampoo or do you use a specific shampoo for certain dogs that have certain conditions?
Okay, so certain dogs that have certain conditions, I do have special shampoos for them.
Right.
But usually when I try a new brand of shampoo, I'll use it on most of the dogs.
Right.
And so whether
So you
it
can
doesn't
figure out what works on which dog.
Yeah, but if there is like like today we had the Shih Tzu I did, she has a shampoo that she likes, the owner likes, and she provides it. And there's another dog at another one of my clients' house where I just leave that shampoo there because I know that dog needs that shampoo.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of like that. But I'll admit that whenever I order a new bottle of shampoo, like I'll use it on different types of coats,
Yeah.
whether it's short coat, long coat.
I
Yeah.
think somebody said something.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, so David says, sorry, I'm a little loopy. Just flew back from Connecticut this afternoon because Missy was in heat. So Missy's his girlfriend, by the way. Missy was in heat. So it is a long mating trip. See, I told you. I love learning about holistic aspects though, so this is very intriguing. Well, David, I mean, after a long weekend of mating with Missy, you need your rest, bro. Recover. Chickens don't serve. OMG, I love that dog table. Yeah, right. So this is just to give you a little. So this is her lobby when you come in. So this is a table that the pet parent can sit and have a beer while they're waiting for coffee, like a normal person. But isn't this nice? So this is her waiting area that we're in. And then when you go through here, it's her grooming salon. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, Chickens Don't Serve says, cool. Awesome. So this is Dolores' beautiful shop. I actually did a shop tour with her husband, Mark, because he helped her out with a lot of the building of it.
I think it was about a year ago, wasn't it?
I think it was about a year ago. So the video is about a year old. But yeah, we actually did a salon tour. So if you want to go back and see that and see how they actually built it out.
Somebody else commented something?
Oh, she said, oh, wow. So
So we're getting off topic.
I think if you search on my channel, Cool Under the Collar, it should come up from that video where I did the salon tour, walk around. But so that criteria, that's where we're at. So if we want to come up
A list.
yeah, like a checklist almost for a pet parent who sees this word holistic going around and they're interested and they want to try a holistic groomer.
Now, question here, should they have some kind of a certification for okay, so say AKC certified safety grooming or like the free
Yeah, the fear-free
like
certification.
they have.
And they got that through Penn Foster.
They got that through Penn Foster.
Yeah, the
Oh,
Penn
really?
Foster, and it's an online course.
Huh.
So if you wanted to, if you're a groomer and you want to take the fear-free certification and have the certificate on in your grooming shop, it's Penn Foster, and it's an online course, and you can get your fear-free certification. But the thing is, the only problem I have with online courses,
Yeah.
you
Exactly.
can read about a biting dog,
Yeah.
but
But it's not the same as actually being there.
and getting bit by that dog.
See, okay, so Canine Country Academy, my friend Paula runs that, and she's in Lawrenceville.
Oh, okay, I heard of it.
Yeah, lovely.
I think I've been. Oh no, I heard her speak at the library one time, and I went there to her. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, she teaches, and she was supposed to teach a class in January, and then of course things fell apart after that. Something got busy, and then she ended up, we were going to postpone it till spring, and then of course COVID happened, so we haven't done it. But she was going to do how to handle an aggressive or behavior problems.
I remember
on the
that.
table. Yes.
Okay, I was wondering what happened to that
Yeah,
event.
some things fell through. We had people that said they were gonna come and then they ended up not coming, so then it just kind of like, they'd be better in the spring, so that's when we were gonna do it, but then COVID happened.
Yeah.
So anyhow, so that's where that went, but she wants to still do that class.
Yeah,
maybe
I'm
next year.
interested.
Yeah, because it's basically the proper way to address how to handle a dog that's aggressive or fearful. And a lot of times it's not aggression so much as it is fear.
Yeah.
And that's why, this whole thing, and we're talking about fear-free. Well, teach them, but the best way to do it is to have a dog on the table and show them.
And actually feel it,
Mhm.
and feel the anxiety,
Yes,
the fear that comes
exactly.
inside, and
Kind of
yeah.
like when you were here with that dog last year from Orlando.
Exactly, Charlie.
Charlie, have you seen Charlie?
they've been asking me, and because they understand, because Corona, this
So
pandemic messed up
Last
everything.
time he was here.
They have been doing a little bit, on their own, doing as much as they can, but they have been, really asking me if I can do it.
Yeah.
And it's just trying to find some time because most of my free weekends I'm going up to Tennessee
Yes.
to spend time with my daughters,
Yes.
and so I gotta find a weekend where we can maybe meet. But then like Florida is going crazy with the numbers,
I know.
the coronavirus
I know.
numbers. I don't know. But they're saying they're willing to drive up here.
Oh, you're
So I don't
welcome to
know.
do it again here if you want.
Well, that's the thing. We were saying like just in case with this pandemic, we don't want to make you feel uncomfortable. So they were saying they can get an Airbnb and I can just meet them at the Airbnb.
Whatever
But
you want to do, whatever's comfortable. I mean, it's fine. I've got Lysol, I got wipes, I got everything. It's like, and I've got the viricide spray.
man, you're so nice. I don't even pay her. I don't even pay her to use the space. Anyways, I have to.
Hey, it's like, like Wednesday, last week we did a rescue. I think it was last Wednesday. Yeah, I did a rescue. Wonderful mommy now. He's got the best home in the world.
But is he good for grooming?
Oh, he was excellent.
Oh, really?
He was a big
Wow.
lab. Beautiful
Nice.
beautiful dog. So he got lucky. He got the best home that any dog can get.
Oh, nice.
So he will be well loved. He was 8 years old when he surrendered at a kill shelter.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
so you know what that's
8
like.
years old. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. He got lucky.
He got very lucky. He got very
Yeah.
lucky in every aspect.
No, it was almost curtains for him.
Yeah,
Shoot.
exactly. So it's like anytime I can give a dog help getting something to go further in their grooming process.
Yeah, I mean, because you go pick up the dog sometimes in the morning. Sometimes you drop them back off at home.
Yes.
So I think that would. So if you were to tell a friend who moved out of state and they say, Dolores, I want to find a holistic groomer, what can I ask the groomers to see if they qualify
Yeah, so in
as
fact, I've got that scenario going on right now. I've got a dog that is her pet parents or pet mother. Is moving to take care of her mom in Florida.
Okay.
And when the dog, it's a Westie. When the dog came to me, she was groomed incorrect. She was shaved.
Oh.
Not hand stripped.
Yeah.
She shaved her face like a poodle.
Oh my goodness. A Westie?
Oh, Westie.
Wow.
She looked horrendous. Her ears, oh Lord. Anyway, she's beautiful now. You probably look on my site or on my, I don't know if I put it on Instagram or on my Facebook page, one of the two. She's actually gorgeous now.
Okay.
And
now she's looking for a groomer?
Yeah, so she wants to find a groomer that does the hand stripping. Well, I put it out there and nobody has bid.
Yeah, hand stripping is, almost
Nil.
It is starting to make a little bit of comeback. I see a lot of groomers starting to talk about it now, showing interest.
Well, I just joined a hand stripping site
Mhm.
so I'm hoping that I'm going to put it out there for recommendations of anybody that's in that area in Florida. So hopefully I can.
Yeah.
So I will do that this week because she literally has an offer on the house now. So this time when I groomed her last week, I don't know if she's going to be back for her next grooming. And she's like, oh, I'll just drive up here and visit my daughter.
Yeah.
And do my grooming.
I've had some people ask me about hand stripping as well, and how do they find a groomer that. So I actually would ask the people who contact me. I would ask them, why exactly are you looking for hand stripping? Are you showing your dog? Is it for competition?
Right.
And they'll say, no, I just want my dog to be groomed properly and be comfortable. And I will tell them, well then, unless you're looking to spend a lot of money and frequent trips to the groomer, hand stripping may not be what you're looking for. You may be looking for a groomer that just does a really good carding, that does a really good job combing out the dead hairs and using clippers to set the length. And
But to keep the coat in good condition
Exactly.
so it doesn't cause
Yeah,
the
and that way your dog will still look good, will feel comfortable, but it's not the hand stripping because you have to roll the coat and.
Right.
So, and a lot of pet owners, I don't think they know what they're asking for when they're asking for hand stripping. Same thing like holistic, when they're asking for a holistic groomer, because there's no certification, there's no criteria, there's no set.
Nope.
So if you're gonna, so the same thing with hand stripping. I guess if somebody would ask you, like, how do I find a holistic groomer? I guess the better question to find out exactly what they're asking for is, what is it that you're looking for in a holistic groomer?
Yeah.
Is it the one-on-one aspect? Is it the cage-free aspect? The fear-free?
Yeah, the cages might be something that the dogs don't do well with, the environment with other dogs barking, the stressful, because sometimes I've got a dog that literally you cannot turn the blow dryer on.
Yeah.
He just gets dried by hand.
Uh-huh.
Because there is no way you turn that on and he just becomes Cujo.
Mm-hmm.
And not at me, but he goes for everything in the room.
Yeah.
He just starts tearing things up.
Yeah.
And he's never been aggressive. He doesn't go aggressive towards people. He just goes aggressive towards items.
So that owner, instead of asking a groomer, a potential groomer, are you holistic? The better question would be, could you groom my dog? Could you dry my dog without using the high velocity air dryer?
Right.
Because it freaks him out.
Because
Like, what is it exactly you're looking for, I guess is a better question.
Right, and that's what we need to all ask, because it's like if they call you and ask you if you're a holistic groomer, what would you say?
I tell them I'm free range groomer. I'm a grass fed free range groomer. So,
You know,
close,
I always say
right? Close.
I'm one-on-one, so it's like, everybody has their definition of what they are.
yeah.
And like I said, that lady down in Florida, she's considered holistic. She's been doing this for this many years, and that's what she considers herself. And she
Yeah.
really kind of is, because I guess she coined the term and put the criteria out there
Oh,
for
wow.
anybody that's going out around her. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So holistic for her, if anybody else puts a holistic thing on it, they might not be the same holistic as she is.
Where do they find out her information if they wanted to check out how she's doing it?
Well, I think it was,
What's her name again? Huh. That's pretty interesting. That somebody's already done it and actually spelled it out and actually typed up what the criteria is. Chickens don't serve says exactly. My Pyrenees was afraid at the groomer yesterday, but to be fair, most Pyrenees end up having to do sedation grooming. Yeah, right. Jenna, she's gluten-free grooming.
gluten-free.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
That's a new coin. The whole thing. I love that.
Shoot, I'll call myself fat-free grooming, and they'll say, "Wait a minute, that's false advertising."
I know, really.
No, I mean, but so I really think that we're okay. You know what though? A holistic approach would even be good for groomers ourselves, because I was asking. So Dolores has a massage appointment scheduled on her. Like she actually puts it on her schedule, and I was like, that's brilliant because. Like we have to take care of our bodies.
Definitely.
We have such physical job. We have to actually treat ourselves as if we're athletes, because basically that's what we do. We're occupational athletes. I got that term from. Where did I get that term from? Oh my goodness. I forget. No. I remember. What is her name? She wrote the Notes from the Grooming Table. Melissa Verplank.
Melissa, yeah.
I blanked on that. Melissa Verplank. I was attending one of her workshops and I thought it was genius, the term that she used. She said that we are occupational athletes, and her chiropractor was the one that told her that. And he's saying just like athletes, we need to do routine stretching, right? To keep our joints lubricated, right? And
That's holistic.
we have to stretch, we have to exercise, get massages, really treat yourself. Diet is super important. Treat yourself like you are an athlete, because we have to take care of our bodies, because if we can't physically perform our job, then we can't work. Just like a basketball player or a football player, if they get injured, they can't play anymore. So they have to take care of their bodies. Same thing with groomers. So I think a holistic approach would be good just to apply to ourselves even as a groomer. Don't just think of yourself as someone that goes in and does dog haircuts all day and then you're done when you leave.
Yeah.
No, stretch. Make sure you
Oh yeah, and stretch. Very important to stretch in the morning before you start.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, okay, think about when your dog wakes up in the morning, what do?
They stretch.
They stretch. They already know this.
Uh-huh.
They already know this.
Yeah, because it's about the longevity of your career. If you want to have a long career without pain.
Exactly. So it's best possible.
Best possible. Okay.
Holistic grooming.
And it says holistic grooming?
And I'm trying to get the thing over. I guess
Yeah.
there's just too much streaming going on. I don't know what's
No,
going
but
on.
I mean, I think that's good enough, right? They can find her on Facebook
Yeah.
as Paul Spa, and
Yeah.
she's saying it says holistic grooming right there.
Yeah, it does.
And so she outlines like the criteria, like
Yeah,
what.
she's got what she does and everything in there.
Perfect. I mean, I might take a look at that then, because I don't know.
Well, now she's gonna grow because of you, because she only has 126 likes. So.
All right, so she'll get 3 more after tonight. She'll get 3 more.
If we ever get it over, she'll be going, what? Who are these people?
Exactly. The 3 people watching. But Jenna says you have to keep your work tools fine-tuned, and you are your own tool for the job. Exactly.
Yes, we are the biggest tool.
Exactly. The most important tool in the shop,
Yeah,
really.
yeah, we really are. So no, we are
So
definitely our most.
I like where this conversation is heading, though, because if you think about it, I wouldn't call. I'm not going to advertise myself as a holistic groomer.
No, me neither.
I don't really, it's like, what is that, right? So I think for myself, I'm just gonna market the fact that I am one-on-one. I don't have multiple dogs scheduled, just your dog and I, and then and I go to
did
your home.
add to my website holistic approach, just so when somebody was looking.
Yeah, exactly.
So that way it would add an extra search thing. Of course, not that I need any money.
Yeah, because you're booked out too.
I am booked solid.
Yeah.
And so yeah, and my calendar's a mess.
Well, the thing is, you have a space here. The only thing preventing me from having like an apprentice or an assistant is because, and people have offered to pay me to be my assistant. I'm like, what? Like, I don't have to pay you to work with me.
Yeah.
But I mean, you have a space here. Like, are you working on like a program, like an apprentice program, or people wanting to learn how to groom?
Well, I was doing that, but then COVID happened, and I said
That's
I'm gonna wait
true.
until after this is all kind of died down, because I've done it, 2 times, 2 other times, so.
Yeah.
So.
But
Yeah.
it's okay, because you would teach them your approach, your holistic approach.
Yeah. And I mean that's with Haley.
Yes.
Yeah. So
How's Salon doing?
she's doing awesome.
Really?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. Her grooms look so beautiful.
Yeah, she's talented.
Yes, and she is just, it just was a natural.
So Haley was a young lady, or is a young lady, not was, she's still with us. But Haley came down and trained with Dolores one-on-one. She trained here in her shop, and I came and I spent a day here and showed her how I groom.
So
And
she got 2 or 3 different kinds of, she could see how things were being done with different people.
yeah.
So she could learn other ways.
Yeah, and I guess that would be considered a holistic approach too, right? I mean, because you're showing her not just your style, but you're letting her see
Yeah.
other groomers' styles.
Yes, exactly. And then she does it one-on-one because she is mobile.
Uh-huh.
So she's got a mobile shop and she does everything,
So holistic could be like almost like an idea, like
Yeah.
like a
Well, and
philosophy.
so she's Pup Club.
Uh-huh.
So you have to be a member.
Uh-huh.
That's how you stay, because as long as you stay on a schedule with her. So that was a pretty interesting way that she did that.
I like that.
I think holistic is also staying in a routine. Because some dogs, okay, a good example are schnauzers, because I have one right there. They are routine. German Shepherds, another one.
Yeah.
Routine. They don't like anything to change. Scotty
Yeah.
gets up at the same time every morning. She doesn't care what day of the week it is. She expects to be fed at the same time every day, and she will let you know, when she needs to go out, and everything else has to be on a regimented schedule. Bella, she's just happy-go-lucky. So there's some dogs like that, but a regimented schedule for certain breeds.
Yeah.
That would be Australians, German Shepherds, these working dogs.
Mhm.
They're all like regimented.
Yeah.
So to keep them on a schedule, to keep them happy, and keeping them stimulated.
Yeah. Well, because it's hygiene.
Yeah.
It's hygiene.
Yeah.
Even though I take a shower today, it's not going to last me weeks. I have to
Right.
keep it routine. It has to be a lifestyle.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't know, do you have any Australian Shepherds?
No, but I used to groom a lot of them.
What about Huskies?
Yes, I have 2 huskies.
Do they start chewing their nails when it gets closer to time? Like if it's been too long?
The ones that I groom, I haven't noticed that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's like I've noticed that, so I've got a couple of them only come 3 times a year.
Mhm.
And literally, I told them.
They start chewing their own nails?
They start chewing their own nails.
Wow.
Same thing with the Australians. They will start gnawing on their own nails because they'll take their own hygiene into their own things.
Yeah, because it's not about vanity, it's about health.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they know it's like, okay, my nails are getting too long, it's time to cut them off.
So really what we're doing as groomers is we're helping them. And as long as we do it in a way where they know that we're helping them with their hygiene, their grooming.
Right, exactly.
And
Because Mother Nature just comes into play.
yeah.
Otherwise, they wouldn't be chewing at it. Whereas other dogs that are domesticated so far down the line that they require everything from us.
Yeah. So the book that I wrote is like my philosophy on dog grooming.
Uh-huh.
What I like to point out is that when people say dog grooming, they usually picture the bath and the haircut. But dog grooming is actually happening every day of their lives if done properly. When the owner runs their fingers through their dog's skin and coat, feeling for little bumps, when they check their nails, when they check their ears, when they rub, clean out the eye boogers. This is all grooming because it's all hygiene.
Yeah.
So grooming is not something that occurs once every 4, 6, 8 weeks. Hopefully, no one goes past that.
Yeah,
But
really.
grooming is not something that happens just once every month or two. Grooming is something that should be occurring every day on a daily basis because it's not just a bath and a haircut. Just like I don't get a haircut every day, but I do brush and comb my hair every day.
In between, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so I groom myself.
Yes.
And then I pay someone to give me a haircut. Well, this time I didn't, but I should. I learned my lesson.
I know. It's like,
Next time I will. So I learned, do not hold your hair up like this forward and cut it. I did that because I was looking at the mirror, so I pulled it forward so I could see it, and then I have short hair here now. It's all messed up. Hold it in the back is what I learned. But anyways, well, the biggest lesson is pay somebody.
No better lessons that we're learning, right?
Pay someone to cut your hair. David says, so I feel like that's sort of what I do. Introduce my puppies when they're 6 to 8 weeks old, but then have to add in the behavior and trust side too. Just like when June tried to groom Havana himself. I knew he was waiting to bring that up. He was waiting to bring that up. Oh my goodness. I hope it was satisfying, David. I hope it was everything you thought it would be. Although she had the routine of the groom, she hadn't trusted him yet. Why? See? I knew it.
Well,
the nail in the coffin.
Well, there's another point. It's like, yes, some people don't think about that either because it's like, they'll just take the dog to any groomer.
Exactly. Jumping from grooming shop to grooming shop, looking for the best price.
And you end up,
not a good idea.
Yeah, exactly. And you get a stressed out dog by the time you get it.
Yes.
Yes.
Because they're being passed around and strangers are constantly touching them in their private areas.
Yeah, exactly. So there's something you have to kind of look at too. It's like, okay, so the overall health is like you need to suggest to that pet parent, how many different groomers have you had?
Yes,
This
exactly.
is why this dog is all stressed out.
Yeah,
And they don't think twice about, going from groomer to groomer to groomer. Now, sometimes a groomer will retire. Sometimes, those kind of things, and it takes 2 or 3 groomers before they find a groomer that does the style they like, or
that their dog likes.
that their dog is agreeable with and happy to go and doesn't shake and freak out.
Yeah.
And then sometimes they just end up at a corporate, which is fine if they can keep the same groomer. But then there's those that, well, the groomers are there for 2 years or get sent to another store.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're not there anymore and they end up with a different one. So,
or sometimes the receptionist will schedule them with someone else by accident.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's the whole thing. So it's constant, because some dogs do fine.
Yes, that's the thing. Some dogs just don't care. They're happy. They love everybody. Just touch me. Anybody just touch me. I'm like that. But the point is, who cares, right? The point is though, with like what David is saying, his dog Havana, he trained his puppy ever since she was 6 to 8 weeks old. Probably even before that though. I'm sure he combed her and brushed her and touched her in certain areas, got her used to this. And then even though she was used to being groomed, and she was used to the bath and all of that, when I started to groom her, she must not be a YouTube fan or something. I don't think she watches YouTube. I don't think she's on YouTube. So anyways, she didn't know who I was, you know what I'm saying? And I tried to tell her, I wrote 2 books. But they don't even care, So the thing is, what Dolores is saying, there's a really good point. And David, thanks for bringing this up, because even though I am June the groomer, She didn't know that. And she didn't care. The dog doesn't care who you are.
No.
And the dog needs time to get to know you and build that trust. Trust takes time with some dogs. Some dogs give it up easy. They trust everyone. But other dogs, maybe they had a bad experience. Maybe something happened. It causes the dog to no longer trust people. And now you got to work harder to build that trust. But with Havana, when David stepped in and he touched her and he told her it was okay, then she calmed down, right? David said, very true, not to knock pet parents either, but sometimes we find a salon you like, but forget to ask if it's the same groomer each time. Yes.
Yes, very good. That is a good point. Because
Exactly.
like I said, with the PetSmart, people don't think that,
Yeah, I'm just gonna schedule my dog.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it matters who it is.
It does, it really does, because it's like, well, they came back from wherever they are, from these corporate grooming places, okay, they were happy. And the next time they come back, they're all stressed out, and they can't figure out why. Well, it's because maybe they did a different groomer, but they were happy with the other groomer. And maybe had that one 2 or 3 times before, and then all of a sudden this other person, like you said, the receptionist, or they did an online thing and didn't choose a preference to have, say, Crystal or whatever, do it. So that should be your preferred groomer kind of thing, so yeah. So that makes a difference to some dogs, and like we said, some dogs don't matter.
It does. Because some of the dogs, like Harley for example, it's been, 6 years since I groomed him. And now he's finally settled down, he kisses me, he likes me, but he still has his tendencies to snap at me sometimes.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact that even though he's okay with me now, and he gives me kisses, it's not like he's like a rehabilitated dog and anybody can come and groom him now. If I ask someone else to come and groom him, they're gonna get bit, and I know it.
Yeah.
And so it is important, when a dog builds up trust, when you earn a dog's trust, you can't just transfer that trust to someone else.
No.
Trust doesn't transfer like
No,
that.
especially with animals.
Yeah.
Especially with animals.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes time, sometimes, like you said, years, and it's like, yes, and I've got some of those that have taken years, and now they finally go, okay. I mean, I've got that Shih Tzu that finally now this year is like 3 years, and it's like, okay, yes, he puts his face in my hand, he's supposed to do his face now.
Yeah, because you prove to him over time that you're not going to hurt him.
Yes, and he does not like his face pulled. So it's like I had to teach him to put the face in the hand, and he holds it there really tight too. He's like, "Eh." I'm like, okay, this is hurting my hand now. I'm getting a cramp because he's pushing so hard. But at least he's letting me do it, and he won't move his face. But that took time. And a lot of really crazy facials.
When you say crazy facials, and no, I'm not gonna say that. So, man, so I guess I think that's what holistic grooming is. I think we've been doing holistic grooming this whole time.
Yeah.
Because.
And I think every groomer does it to an extent as they're allowed to do. You know what I'm saying? It's according to where you work and how your style of grooming is, or how the procedures are at the place where you are.
Yeah. So if a client calls me or emails me, and let's just say I am taking new clients, and so they call me and they say, "Are you a holistic groomer?" I think my response to them is going to be, "What exactly are you looking for?"
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm going to tell her.
And that should be anybody's response, period.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter if you're holistic or not holistic groomer. You might fit the criteria of what they're looking for, because they probably don't even understand what holistic, because they may have had a holistic, someone said they're holistic.
Yeah, their friend told them look for a holistic groomer.
Right.
And now they're on the hunt for a holistic groomer. They don't even know what they're looking
They
for.
don't even know what they're looking for. So that's the best question for anybody to ask. If you're looking for it, or you're a groomer and they're looking for
It's almost like a puppy cut.
Yes,
Remember when puppy
yes,
cut?
yes,
Everybody was
yes.
asking for a puppy cut. And it's like, what exactly is a puppy cut?
Yeah.
And so I started telling people who came into my shop and asked for a puppy cut, I would tell them, great, I'm a puppy cut specialist.
Yeah.
And then one lady actually looked at me and she goes, oh, what's a puppy cut? And I started cracking up because I was like, you asked me for it, you know, like you don't even know what you're asking for.
Exactly.
But I just started telling people, great, I'm a puppy cut specialist, because what's a puppy cut? There's no definition.
There's no definition.
So I'm a specialist at it.
Because no puppies are the same. I mean, look, you got that dog and, oh, and look at this one.
Okay, yeah, so
Yeah.
that's like maybe a 2-month-old puppy.
Yeah.
Are we talking
exactly.
about a 2-month-old puppy or a 2-week-old
Yeah,
puppy? Because I
exactly.
can glue the eyes shut if you like, you know, like.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is like people were asking for puppy cuts without even knowing what they were asking
Yeah.
for. Kind of
Because
like,
it became a thing. And that's
Yes.
the same now with holistic.
that's
I think
right.
that's why it was going so wild when everybody was having this discussion, because it was like, what is it?
Yeah, I'm
And
holistic.
one person's view on it and another person's view did not mesh. And it's like, really, we all do it without knowing
Uh-huh.
to an extent. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? The stress-free may not be in every shop, but as far as overall health, we all as groomers hopefully check the skin. Check for,
Look
you
at
know,
the gums.
Yeah, you look at the gums, you check for fleas, you check the ears, you know, you check the paw pads, you just do a normal check. And if the
Mhm.
nails don't look right, there's something discoloration, they've got,
Or if they're gassy, you ask the parent
Yeah.
about their diet.
right, exactly. There's all these different factors that go into what a groomer looks for while they're bathing, grooming, or whatever.
Exactly. If the stomach feels tight and bloated, maybe
Yes.
call off the groom.
Yes, exactly. Or if there was something on their eye that wasn't there the last time they were groomed, and mom didn't notice it because the hair was in the eyes, but when you got them wet, you saw it.
Uh-huh.
You know, then you immediately take the picture, text them and say, hey, this is new, you might want to call the vet. Like today, I said something and took a picture, or not even take a picture, I just told the parents that they needed to go to the vet for this. But, you know, and she immediately said, okay, you made the appointment.
Uh-huh.
So, you know, they listen if you're constantly, you know,
And that would
aware.
be technically a holistic approach, what you just did.
Right.
But okay, so then I think for groomers who want to take advantage of this holistic trend going on and people looking for holistic groomers, maybe like you said, put it in some of your posts or keywords so when people search you come up.
Right.
But in your actual social media posts, instead of saying I'm a holistic groomer because of this, just show them what you're doing that you would consider to be holistic.
Yeah, my holistic approach is this.
Or not even say that, just say,
Yeah.
today this dog was doing such and such, and so we asked about their diet, and then we ended up having to send this dog home.
Mhm.
Don't even say holistic, but
Yeah.
people see that this is the kind of groomer you are. You
Right,
take
and
into
that's-
consideration.
yeah, exactly, because you're actually for the overall health of the dog,
Yeah.
and that's just what grooming is.
Okay, so if you want people to consider you as a holistic groomer, maybe if you notice something about the dog and you have to send the dog home, now you have some time, you have a minute or two because the groom is now canceled. I would say jump on your social media and just talk to your clients and explain what happened. Today this dog came in and such happened. They weren't themselves. They were acting a little off. And I checked their gums, and it looked their mouth was dry. They weren't acting, you know. And so I asked the mom. The dog was sick last night, and so we called off the groom. And this is the kind of groomer I am. You know, like grooming is not just about getting your dog's haircut done. It's about considering the overall well-being of your dog. Make that video and don't even mention the word holistic, right?
Yeah, because it's really, because like I said, grooming is taking care of the overall health, maintenance.
Yeah. I mean, you can
just the word
mention.
grooming has its own holistic.
It's already kind of built into
Yeah.
the definition of the word.
Yes.
Shiro, message got retracted. Sorry about that, Shiro. Maybe sometimes the algorithms, like if they deem a comment inappropriate, it'll retract it. But I like that. So I have a much better idea now of
Yeah,
what
I think we
holistic.
both do. Has everybody else kind of chimed in and said that they think,
Yeah.
David chimed in.
Yeah.
Nobody
Well,
else.
not only do I have a better idea of what holistic grooming is now, like I like how, like we just like, you know, how groomers can actually advertise that they are holistic. Maybe you don't have to put hashtag holistic groomer, or you can on your Instagram post or whatever. Maybe you can put
It's a
hashtag.
personal thing.
Yeah, if
Because,
you're trying to draw in that
literally,
crowd.
yeah, it's depending on what kind of clientele you're looking for.
Yeah.
You might
But
be
if
looking-
you are a one-on-one groomer where you don't take a bunch of dogs in all at once, you take in one dog at a time, maybe really show that and let people know you're a one-on-one groomer. So somebody who is looking around for a holistic groomer, but what they really want is a groomer that is one-on-one, they'll see that, right? Or somebody's looking
Or
for.
somebody's coming to the house because the dog even stresses out leaving the house.
Yeah.
So like you go and do.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm always like, mentioning that my house call groomer, I go to your home.
Mhm.
Yeah, so, but I don't say I'm a holistic dog groomer.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah,
like
it's
you
almost like
go-
there's no need to say it.
There isn't, because of the fact that you are doing basically that. You're a groomer. You do overall health of the
Mhm.
dog. I mean, if you didn't do it, and you do it the way you do it, then you just go in, you shave, and leave. There wouldn't be a bath, there wouldn't be all that stuff.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? It's just
Yeah.
you're doing overall. You do. You check the skin, you check the nails, you check the paw pads, you check the teeth, you check the gums, you check everything.
Yeah.
Ears. I mean, we all do.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, how many times have I taken dogs and dropped them off at the vets? Because pet parents are not home when I pick them up, and there's ear infection. So I call them, they call the vet, and when I finish the groom, because minus the ears, because I couldn't pluck or do anything because they're ears, sometimes they're in such pain, I just literally, they go straight to the vet,
Mhm.
and then they'll come back and make a new appointment.
Yeah.
But I mean, if they're not showing they're uncomfortable, and that ear is just, as long as you're not touching it, you're okay, so you have an ear undone, but half that side of the face, and they'll come back afterwards, but, you know, once the medicine starts, I can deal with that,
Mhm.
you know, and they can deal with it, because they know.
Yeah, exactly.
But I have dropped off a lot of dogs at the vet, and then parents pick them up after work. So at least they're getting their veterinary care
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah. Well, and it's almost like you're working in partnership with the vet, and it's like a team. You're a part of the team.
Yeah.
Because
Well, we kind of all are, aren't we?
yeah, I always tell people that too. It's like it really should be a team effort, not
And
just the
even the
groomer.
groomers, because it's like if I have a groomer that I've referred to, or a groomer has referred to me, I will be fine with calling them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Because we should be. It's,
Yeah.
I mean, like we're colleagues. We're all professional colleagues, in my opinion.
Yes, with the exception of you.
Yeah,
I mean, there's
yeah.
those that think there's a competition, and I don't understand that at all, because I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, because I can't even take any more dogs. You
I
can
can't,
have them.
I was
I'm
gonna
like, you can have
say, take all you want.
Yeah, I don't even care. Yeah.
But for the most in our community right through here, everybody's happy with referrals and pushing and.
Yeah, I
helping each
think
other.
that's becoming more and more, because not just here in Georgia with our group, because I think we have a really great group of groomers here in Georgia. I think we all communicate.
Yeah.
But when I went to Houston, and I met some of the groomers there in Dallas and Houston and San Antonio and all those areas, they're actually a pretty tight group too over there in
that's
Texas.
good.
Yeah, and so and down in Florida, I know that there's a group there. So I think it's becoming more the trend now.
Well,
Groomers coming
that's good,
together.
because we really need to with all the legislation that's going on.
Yeah.
And see, how does holistic fill into that? See, when they put in legislation, is holistic gonna be on the list?
Yeah, that's true. Because if they say that we have to have cages, or we have to do this, or we have to do that, then
Yeah.
maybe that will kind of hinder
Yeah.
our approach sometimes. But if the law is passed and they say that all dogs being groomed must be in a cage, I'm just gonna break the law.
Yeah.
Should I not say that on camera?
Yeah.
Should I not say that on camera? I'm just gonna break the law. I mean.
Well, I mean, why do they need to be in a cage? You are going to a house.
Yeah, exactly.
So the cage is not needed
Yeah.
because they're at the house.
Yeah.
Now so example, last week, the week that I was gone, I went to Florida for 3 days. Or not Florida, I went to Alabama because Florida has a high COVID thing. The beaches they're much safe. They're very safe in Alabama. They are
The beaches
mandated.
were beautiful.
Yeah, oh my God, and mandated mask law,
Nice.
even in the restaurants. Take it off, eating.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
crazy, but anyway, where was I going with this? Oh, anyway, so it's like, I lost my train of thought.
Oh no. Okay, hold on. We could backtrack here.
Yeah.
You were going down to, because we're talking about how grooming groups are getting together, and it's more we're all in the legislation, and then.
Yeah, the legislation. So as far as legislation goes, it's like, okay, so the state of Alabama mandated mask. The state of Georgia doesn't, the state of Florida doesn't. In fact, we were in Florida-Bama when we went over to eat one day, and it was like, oh my God, they don't have masks, no mask mandate, nothing. Nobody was wearing masks, not even in the restaurants. Like in Georgia, we have at least the people they're serving us do it. No, not there.
Uh-huh.
So it's like, okay, so from state to state, are they going to mandate it by the way the groomers groups are getting together? Because they said these groomers are starting to align to push towards helping to make sure that the legislation doesn't screw them all over.
Yeah.
Basically, that's the way we're doing this, because we want the health and overall safety of the dogs.
Yeah.
But we also don't want to be, there are certain dogs that you can't put in cages. They become aggressive, so you can't even get them out once you get them in.
Yeah.
So then there's those situations. So will that be written into the law?
Exactly.
And that's what.
Well, we can't expect a lawmaker, a politician to know these kind of things.
We need a lawyer with a wife that's a groomer.
Well, yeah, or at least groomers, making like an organization, something where
we started with our Georgia Groomers Alliance.
Yeah, something where we can help.
But we need to sit down and we need to write down things, and we need to, and every state should have this. They should have an alliance of groomers for Pennsylvania, for Tennessee.
Yeah, and they are doing it now. There's a Facebook page for that where they help different states come up with the.
Because it's like, if we don't, it's not going to hurt us, they're just going to disappear. We're already in a shortage of groomers.
Yeah.
Because you see how much is out there, everybody's hiring, because I don't know what happened to COVID, but everybody's like needing a groomer, help, a bather or something. Because it's just, like, you've been getting more emails. I'm slammed. I'm getting phone calls at least 3 or 4 times a day.
Yeah.
And I'm a new manager and I can't, because I can't take anybody else.
Yeah.
And I have a hard time saying no.
Yeah.
So, but and
Me too.
so the situation being is we have to look out and speak up for the animals, because that's what we're doing this for. It's for the animals.
Yeah, their well-being.
Their well-beings.
Yeah.
And legislatures have screwed up so many things over the years because they make laws that they think helps, which doesn't. It makes it worse.
Yeah, well, because they're not on the front lines. They don't know the experience of it.
No.
And they're just making rules that look good on paper.
So we have to have an advocate for us.
Yeah, well,
in every state.
That's what I was trying to do when I interviewed Rosemary Marchetto from Bijou's Law in New Jersey, and I was basically trying to tell groomers, no, this is coming. Legislation is coming. We're going to be regulated.
Yes.
Let's get in front of it. Let's get involved.
Right.
Let's steer it in the right direction.
In the correct direction for the safety and welfare of the dogs. Because if they strictly say every groomer has to put a dog in a cage that's not in-home or in a mobile.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem because, like you said, I've seen it myself. And there's notes, don't put this dog in a cage, because once they go in a cage, you can't get them out. They get so vicious.
Yes, they do.
But only when you put them in a kennel.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And they stress out, and there's some that go into seizures.
Yeah, I've never seen that. But
I saw it at the shop, and oh my gosh, yes, I saw that at the shop. As soon as they put it in the cage, it started having seizures. So you pull it out, stop, put it back in the cage, it has seizure. So it's like, okay, we can't do this dog in a cage. We just need to get it done.
I've seen that with the force dryer too, like you said before, and I didn't know, and the owners didn't tell me, and I was a new bather, and the dog was starting to really stress out. And me being inexperienced, I was just a bather at that time. I didn't know what to do. I was trying to finish and get the dog dry.
Yeah.
And she went into a seizure. She fell over. I thought she died.
Oh, Lord.
I was so scared. But that was my first really scary experience with the dog that gets seizures when they're being dried.
Oh, yeah.
And you have to just stop.
You do.
But I didn't know that. I was thinking, let's get him dry faster because he's uncomfortable. Let's get this done faster. So I turned it on higher.
And you got it worse.
Freaked him out. And he almost died.
Yeah.
So
it's a bad situation. What do they say?
Oh, Lee is here. Lee Harley.
Hey, Lee.
Shiro says, I'm in Houston. It's awful. We can't groomers any other groomers to meet the demand, and we can't hire bathers even because no one wants to work due to getting unemployment.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Unemployment. That's right, Lee.
Yeah.
People are making more than they would, and so they're staying home.
Yeah, that's Shiro in Houston. So I was just
everywhere, and I mean, even in the industry of warehousing and all that stuff, they can't keep people because they're making more staying home.
Unemployment. So why go and
work? Yeah,
work?
Exactly. So
That's a problem.
It's happening, and that's what everybody's doing. It's just so sad.
Maybe that's why we're
Maybe.
not just her, but myself and other groomers, they're telling me that they're getting flooded with calls.
Well, even Josh, when I went up there the other day to pick up or drop off my stuff, he said the same thing. All the groomers like, where do these dogs come from all of a sudden?
Because people are not working, because they're getting unemployment.
Yeah. So they're just, and I mean, we've seen it on the Groomers Alliance page and the Georgia Groomers page. People are hiring. I mean, W-2s and everything else, and they can't get anybody.
Wow.
It's crazy. Well, you know, I hired a groomer this summer just part-time for, she was just a teenager, just a day to help me make. And she was great.
Nice.
She loves animals. But, yeah. So it was just to help me get through, to kind of help the other groomers in the area that weren't working at the time. So it was like, yeah, but then those dogs had to go on back to that groomer. And I got yelled at by a groomer saying that I was stealing her. I'm like, no, you weren't answering the phone. And they were begging and pleading, and it's like, okay, I just helped. I told them one time or two times, that's it. You have to go back to your groomer. I mean, it's better for the dogs, like we just said. It's not good for them to keep going to different groomers.
Exactly, yeah.
So, you know, this is not helping the dogs. The dogs are all stressed, if anybody's noticed, because, like, they are more, I have some that are more attached than ever. You know, they have that separation anxiety they didn't have before. Then I have a couple of them that, oh yeah, they'll just stay here all day. If they see their parents, they run and hide. Because it's like, I don't want to go home, the kids are there. Because I'm old and they're just won't let me stop, they won't stop playing. And they just lay over there and sleep on their back, snoring away.
Yeah, because you have the music. I mean, they probably feel like this is heaven. And then they gotta go back to the kids that bother them. So David says, hi Lee, how have you been? Raquel just got on. Hey, what's up, Raquel? So Raquel, we're talking about holistic grooming. And when we started this conversation, wow, we've been here for an hour ago.
Oh my gosh.
I came into this conversation asking Dolores, what is holistic grooming? I don't even know what that means. And so I think what we've came up with, if you want to condense it down, holistic grooming is the approach, right? You approach what grooming is, looking at it as a whole, a part of the whole life.
Right, yeah.
Right?
Everything we do for them, their parents do for them, the communication between the owners and the groomers and the vets.
Yeah. And so, and then another point that I thought was really
psychological, emotional.
Exactly. Not just how the dog looks, but how the dog feels, both physically, emotionally. But what I really enjoyed was figuring out that if you're looking for a holistic groomer, because you hear the term being thrown around a lot, rather than look for a groomer that advertises that they're holistic, ask the specific question of what exactly is it that you're looking for. Are you looking for a groomer that takes just one dog at a time, one-on-one? Are you looking for cage-free? Are you looking for a groomer that has taken a fear-free certification course or something like that, handling techniques? What exactly are you looking for in that when you're asking for holistic, right? And then for groomers, when you get a call and somebody's asking, are you a holistic groomer? You can ask them, what exactly are you looking for? Because I consider myself holistic if you want to get down to it, but what I consider holistic may be different than what you're looking for. So what is it that you're looking for in a holistic groomer? That's what I would ask the potential client, asking me if I'm a holistic groomer. And then also another quick idea that I think was important was if you are a dog groomer, instead of advertising that you're holistic, show people what about holistic grooming makes you that. You know, so for example, if you are cage-free or one-on-one, say that instead of holistic. And you can put hashtag holistic in your post. But if you cancel the appointment because the dog was lethargic or acting weird and you wanted the owner to take them to the vet, say that, do a live stream and explain that to your clients so they know that that's the kind of groomer you are. You're not just about the sale, the money, you're about the dog's health and well-being.
Everything.
Exactly, you're running a human business, not just a profitable business. Let's see here. Raquel says, what's up, David? Lee says, my daughter is getting unemployment because it's not safe for her to go back. Just last week, there was another outbreak where, oh my goodness.
Yeah, these outbreaks, it's like because of everybody when they work so close.
Yeah.
One gets it and it's just kind of goes.
Lee says, I've been okay. I had an injection in my knee and I'm pain free for the first time in 12. Oh, wow, in 2 years. Wow.
Wow, that's great.
Raquel says, what's June drinking? Sweetwater. It's actually Dolores's, but anyways. Well, I mean, it's not.
It's yours.
It's mine, but she provides. Anyways.
I prefer it. It's the hostess thing to do, right?
Let's see. David says nothing. Taking it easy, learning from these two lovely people. Oh, what they consider as holistic approach, more than just what holistic is considered. Exactly.
Yes.
Thank you for calling me lovely, David. Chickens Don't Serve says, thank you for all of this. You all have inspired me to contact one of the home groomers in my area. There are a bunch, and now I know what to ask.
Yay!
Nice.
That's what we were trying to make sure that everybody understood.
Yeah. Well, really, I was just trying to gain an understanding for myself. I didn't care. I didn't care about Chickens
Yeah.
Don't Serve. Raquel says, one-on-one and cage-free is very important to me. You know what, Raquel? Well, then I would say if you're looking for a groomer that does that, ask for that. Don't ask them, are you a holistic groomer?
Right.
Yeah.
Tell them you want one-on-one, you need your dog needs to be cage-free. Maybe tell them it stresses out over the cage, or it's just like all the noise that's surrounded by cages with dogs in it.
Yeah, because a lot of times if you're specific in what you want, even though the groomer may not actually do that, as long as you're clear and specific, most groomers can accommodate your needs.
And like some of the shops, they'll have express grooming for those that don't want cage.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll say express groom, that means do not cage dry. That means dry them by hand and no cages, period. And they go in, they get bathed, they get groomed, and they go home.
Yeah.
Straight, that's express grooming. And a lot of them upcharge big time.
Yeah.
But if it's what your dog needs, then I guess you just pay the extra.
Well, for me, as long as it's not something that I disagree with, I'll do it, whatever they ask me, and I don't really charge extra, more than what I'm already charging. I don't really do fees or anything, but like if they ask me to skip the brushing, for example, oh, the brushing takes too much time, just go ahead and just wash her and shave her, don't do all the brushing and do everything that you do. I would say, I'm sorry, I'm not the groomer you're looking for. I would refuse to do it.
But how would you you wouldn't get to the finished point without brushing.
Yeah, and then I showed them, because a couple of my clients actually did ask me to do that, because they're like, it takes like an hour or two.
Yeah, I've had them say, what if I wash them and bring them? And I'm like, no, your bath is not the same as my bath.
And I show them how I comb them out before I bathe them, and then it clicks when I show them, and they see it, and they feel it.
Yeah.
But, okay, so that's, if they ask me to do something that I don't agree with, then I won't do it no matter what the price is, no matter how much extra they're willing to pay me, I won't do it.
Yeah.
But if they ask me, can you sing Ed Sheeran's song to my dog while you groom? I'll say, does your dog prefer tenor or bass? I don't care. I'll sing to their dog. Or if they say, can you do this for my dog? Or can you put two cubes of ice in their water after they're groomed, because it needs to be 2 cubes of ice, and make sure the 2 cubes are not chipped or broken. I'd say, okay, perfect, and I'll do it. And I'm not going to charge an extra. Any kind of weird, special request that a client has, I think not just me, but a lot of groomers, we're willing to do it as long as you make it clear
up the front, yes.
and specific, and this is what I want you to do. And then maybe if it is something that takes more time, a groomer will charge extra for that, but if you're trying to avoid paying extra, so you don't ask for a certain thing that you really want, and then you don't get it, then you can't really blame the groomer, right? Because the groomer can't read your mind.
Yeah,
So
it's always up front and clear.
Exactly.
Ask questions
Or
not after.
So Lee says, mission accomplished. Yeah, exactly. David says, yes, great catching you guys for a little bit, but I must go cook and watch the rest of the stream later. Awesome. Take care, David.
Take care, David.
Lee says, stay safe, David. Raquel says, I groom my own dog now. Can't find a holistic groomer around here. Well, the thing is, if you were to ask groomers in your area, are you a holistic groomer? I'm willing to guess maybe 7 out of 10 will say yes.
Yeah.
Right?
And they probably won't even know either.
And all 7 will disagree on what makes
That's what started this whole discussion, was back and forth about holistic grooming.
Yeah, so Raquel, if you asked around, most I would say maybe
Yeah.
6 out of 10 would say, yeah, I'm a holistic
So
groomer.
instead of asking for holistic, call and ask for, okay, what is your procedures?
Yes.
And it's like, okay, so then once you find out what their procedures are, would you be willing to do it this way instead for my particular dog?
Yeah.
And if they are, then great. If not, then we go call the next one.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing. It's like if they're willing, that means that they care for the dogs. They're not all about the business side of it.
Yeah. Well,
And some of them have no choice because the procedure's in place.
Yeah.
So you have to remember that too, because shops
Might have
are
to be
run.
policy.
Yeah, there's a policy sometimes. So
Yeah.
it's not always, they would like to do it, but sometimes they can't do it because this is the way, okay, the dogs come in at this time and they stay until this time.
Yeah.
And they're not flexible about it. And then there are shops that are flexible.
Yeah, and like Dolores and I were talking a little bit before the stream, and she was telling me about a friend of hers that, well, a previous client that moved away, and she tried the groomer, and Dolores told her, interview the groomer, but she just had the groomer groom her dog, and it was not what she liked. She was unhappy, and Dolores told her, I told you to interview the groomer first, and she told Dolores she couldn't because the groomer kind of snapped at her and told her, I don't do interviews. So she just let her groom her dog. But Dolores, rightly so, told her, that should have told you right there, not to trust her with your dog. But here's a little caveat, little side note to that. Sometimes groomers, we're having a very busy day and we can't really take the time out to be, nice and professional and have a conversation. And groomers are not really known to be people.
I was going to say, groomers are not known to be people. That's
We're
exactly
not great with social interactions, which is why we work with dogs. So I would say though, if you do go into a grooming shop and you ask to interview them or ask them a few questions and they're short with you and maybe even rude, like what you would consider rude, maybe just ask them, is there a better time that I can come back and talk to you? And if they snap at you again, then maybe go with your gut feeling. If your gut's telling you, I don't really like the vibe, I don't like this place, try another place. But I would give the groomer at least a chance, to give you a better time to come back where they can take some time and talk with you while they're not grooming a dog and busy.
Right.
So.
And set up an appointment if you need to.
Yeah, maybe.
When I was set up appointments, because I do meet and greets always before.
Do you charge for those, the meet and greets? Because I know a lot of groomers, they do charge for a consultation. They charge a consultation fee where you come in and.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Uh-huh.
I mean, because it's just like, okay, it's for me, and I'm thinking, why would I charge? I mean, I could charge, and people would probably pay it, but it's at the same time, it's for me. I want to make sure that I'm the right groomer for that dog, because I can be sitting there on the floor. I mean, I ignore the dog when they come in. I talk to the parents. I sit on the floor. I let them fill out the paperwork, ask the questions that that are on the papers, and then I decide. And even if they filled out their paperwork, I've torn it up sometimes.
Oh, because you don't want to groom that dog.
Because that dog is like, your dog doesn't like me. So this isn't a good match. And they're like, how do you know? I says, we've been sitting here for 20 minutes and he hasn't even looked at me and he's hiding. And I says, every time I go towards it, it growls. So it doesn't like me. And so that happens.
Yeah, and you're not going to force yourself on that dog.
No, you don't force yourself. And I said, we can try another meet and greet. I will offer that. Or I says, you can come back and have it sit here while I groom a dog and see how it, and if it sits there and growls, then it's not.
See, this is a holistic approach, in my opinion. But yeah, I would like, if you are gonna advertise that you're holistic, instead of saying I'm a holistic dog groomer, I would tell them that story. Because that story shows that it illustrates that you're a holistic groomer. But because the term is so loosely used now, I would for me personally, I would kind of avoid
exactly.
calling myself that. I would say, if someone says, oh, are you a holistic groomer? I'll say, well, here's my approach.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is like, to me, the meet and greets are the most important part.
Exactly.
For me, because I want to make sure that dog is comfortable being here. I don't want to force a dog to be someplace they don't like to be.
Yeah, and it's almost like a nice first date. Because you didn't really push anything, you didn't groom the dog, but the dog got to get to know you, had a nice experience.
And they also know they're leaving with their parent, and then when they come come back the next time, mom will come back and get them.
Exactly. I like that because on the second date you seal the deal. I personally like to wait for the third, but good for you,
And
Dolores.
sometimes there's a third, sometimes there has to be a third.
Yeah, but that's such an interesting concept. Yeah, it's like having a nice date
Yeah.
and then going on the next date and maybe seeing where that goes.
Yeah.
You know, but
Well,
yeah,
it's kind of almost like puppy training. You don't keep them there forever. Puppy training.
yeah, you get them used to it.
Yeah.
And
They
then
come for an hour.
yeah.
They get the sounds. They get the bath. They get maybe dry, maybe not. It just depends. If they first turn that thing on and they're like going crazy, then you just lay the dryer down and dry them back to towel and brush them out and let them hear the sound the whole time, but not push the sound. And then turn it slowly, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because some dogs are more skittish with the way their fur feels.
Yeah.
You know, they're more sensitive.
Where did you learn that? Because I actually picked a lot of that, what you're talking about, when I went to Utah and like worked with dog behaviorists and dog trainers, and they're the ones that kind of gave me a different, like talking
I
about
think
speak
mine
that
came
way.
from working and helping at shelters and rescue.
So you already knew that you had to make
Yeah.
incremental, small
Yeah.
steps.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I mean, who wants to, I mean, you've got this dog that's terrorized already. I mean, he's got a pelted coat that weighs 50 pounds.
Yeah.
You know, and he's like 8 pounds. And you're coming out across there going with you know, I'm like, no, just lay the flippers here, let the flippers make their sound on a soft towel where they can hear it and not feel the vibration yet, but they can feel it on the table.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? The
Yeah.
vibration's on the table, it's sitting on a towel.
It's
So-
creating positive associations.
Right, and here I am, I'm loving the dog, talking to the dog, telling him he's coming here, he's gonna get beautified, he's gonna feel so much better, he's not gonna hurt anymore, nobody's gonna hurt him. We're growing that bond. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Just like you would with a puppy, you're growing that bond.
Yeah.
As you're talking to them, you're showing them the brush, you're letting them sniff, they like to bite the brush, you know, let them feel it, taste it, because, I mean, puppies, just like kids, you know, they gotta put everything in their mouth.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's just same way with a scared, terrorized dog that's like pelted to its.
Yeah. Let them.
And some of them never been touched because they've been in like puppy mills that just stacked cages on top of cages and they've got so much feces coming down on them. That's the only thing they feel is something coming from
Yeah.
above.
And then if you
Or
just go
somebody
in
throwing
there,
food in, yeah, exactly.
yeah, you can like overstimulate the dog because
So
yeah.
you're just sitting there, you know, trying to break it in. So you do the puppy the same way because they are so overstimulated so easily anyway.
Yeah.
Puppies are.
Yeah.
So you just kind of go with the flow. It's like, okay, well, he's got 5 minutes on the table. Now we're going to put him on the floor, let him run around, play for a few seconds, and then
Yeah.
get him back on the table, and then we're
Yeah.
going back. So for that hour, you might get a bath and a dry. You might just get a bath and a towel dry and a brush out.
Yeah. You know, Lizzie's that way. Lizzie's Fluff and Buff. She's that way too. It's like there's no like set. Every dog gets this. You know, some dogs leave with half a haircut because that's all
Yeah.
the dog will
I've
tolerate.
had some that come 3 or 4 times before they get done. But after that, they're like, okay, we're fine,
Yeah.
and they can get through the whole room.
Exactly. But if you create a bad experience with them, and you fight them and traumatize them,
Because they're trying to tell you something. But they
yeah.
can't speak. Body language you have to learn to read.
I tell
And I know
people
you
it's
read
it's
that.
like it's like a child that came from a war-torn country,
Mhm.
like a child from Syria or something. They've seen horrible things and they don't speak our language. They don't know our culture.
Right.
And here we are trying to give them a spa day, and
And they're like,
they're
whoa!
scared. Yeah, they think we're killing them.
It's like you're trying to drown me.
Yeah, we just have to be calm.
Well, if you think about it, some of these shelters, they literally, when they clean the kennels, they leave the dogs in there and just spray the kennels down. So you can imagine turning that faucet on. So as
Yeah,
you pick up that thing, they're like,
because they have a negative association with that
Yes,
sound.
Exactly. I've got one that was that way. I mean, she would literally jump out of the tub and it's like the owner stayed with them the first couple of times.
Yeah.
And I mean, she literally almost killed herself trying to get away.
And having that understanding, I think.
And she's been turned away from every shop around here. But I have no problem. She's really good.
Well, I was gonna say it's because you understand. You're taking into consideration that there might be something that happened that's causing this dog to act this way, or maybe a lot of groomers who are maybe on a time schedule or something. It could be very easy to get frustrated with that dog,
Oh, yeah.
to get upset with that dog, lose your patience with it, and maybe get a little more rough with it than necessary. Not considering that this dog came from a shelter, like you said, where they spray them down with a hose, and so they're terrified when they hear the water turn on. Like, yeah, that's something that I wouldn't even consider. you know, but you have that experience, it makes you more sensitive, more aware. But that's what makes you a holistic groomer. You're a holistic groomer.
Okay, I'm a groomer, and groomer is an overall word of taking care of the animal.
Yeah, and that's why I'm so proud to call myself a groomer. A lot of groomers are like, I'm a pet stylist. I don't like the word groomer. I love the word groomer.
Well, there's a difference between a pet stylist and a groomer, then there isn't there?
I think so. I think pet stylist, you're concentrating more on the haircut.
Yeah, so you have a bather that bathes and dries the dog. Then you go and style the dog.
Uh-huh.
So is the bather the basic groomer that takes care of making sure that the skin and hair and
It would be the bather shop then, right?
And the stylist, all they do is take
Do the haircut.
Yeah.
So there is a pet stylist, yeah. But I love being a dog groomer because I groom the dog. I actually.
You're not in the camera.
Oh, it's okay. We don't need to see me. You're raising production value here.
No.
Raquel says, I live in a town of 8,000. We only have 2 groomers. Ooh.
That is kind of like.
Raquel,
Yeah.
that seems like an opportunity for you. Why don't you start grooming in your town? No? Take a course?
You want to come learn?
Oh my God, you could. You could totally come here and learn from. How long did it take Haley?
4 months.
That's it?
That's it. She just snapped right on there. I mean, she was really that
Wow, she
natural.
caught on fast.
Yeah, we didn't know. We just thought it was going to take as long as it took. And
Yeah.
It's like she started September, October, November, December, 4 months.
Wow, because I remember she was saying like she plans on maybe 6 months. Like, you know, wow,
She
only
just picked it
took
up
4.
so quick. It's just a natural for her.
Yeah.
She just flowed with the dog. She flowed with everything.
Nice.
And in the beginning, I made her practice on that model dog.
Uh-huh.
And, get used to the scissor feel, get used to all that.
Yeah.
And let her shake a few paw pads to get her used to the shaving.
I like that, so she can be comfortable with the scissors without the fear of cutting a dog by accident.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it was a breaking in, and then when I finally gave her her first dog, she was ready.
Wow.
She was ready.
Shoot. But yeah, Raquel, I would maybe, maybe you found your calling. Miguel Garcia, how are you, Miguel? After this stream, I'm gonna give you a call, man. Raquel says, I've been told. Yeah, you know what? They say that when people tell you have a knack at something, enough people tell you like maybe you should do this for a profession. You're good at it. That might be your calling because
this is my retirement profession because I've worked administrative in schools. And I have been a teacher, and I have been a project coordinator.
Like HR type work, right?
Yeah.
Like, didn't you hire and do all that too?
Yeah, project coordinator did everything. You pretty much did everything. You set up offices. I set up offices all over the country. So yeah.
Yeah.
And then, hired people.
Yeah. Well, so how long has it been since you? Because you've been grooming what? Like almost.
2016.
That's it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, I thought you've been growing like longer than that.
No.
Wow.
No.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
How did you feel when you first started grooming at 2016 and when you first?
Well, it was like kind of scary because of the fact that here I'm taking these people that are in my neighborhood. If I screw up, I'm in Because talk about Raquel, you live in a town of 8,000. Okay, I live in a neighborhood of 2,000 houses, and everybody has 3 or more dogs. And I can only say 3 or more because we're only allowed to have 3 according to the HOA.
So
3 or less?
On record.
Yeah, on record, 3 or less. Anyway, so you take that into account, and so I get these calls because people will say, "Oh, my neighbor says you're the groomer, you're the Sterling groomer," and I'm like, "No, I am the groomer in Sterling. There's a difference between the Sterling groomer. I don't have a shop." With 500 workers, which I would need to keep up with this neighborhood.
That would be very a lot of pressure on you because if you did a bad job,
My neighbors would run me out of there. So that was it was like, oh my God, if I say, and the thing was I did it with the first couple dogs I did was the lady on the tennis team. Okay, that runs the tennis team.
So she knows everybody in the neighborhood.
So thank God it was good because then I got thousands of calls. And then empty nesters in our neighborhood, which is a group of about 500 people. It's about 250 or something. I think it's up to 500 now, but anyway.
So she was your first client.
Yeah, so here we have all this, and it's like a small town. Everybody knows everybody, and it's like, oh no. That's when the word spread, and I had 25 clients within a month. And then I had 50 clients before I knew it, I had 153.
Oh my God.
And then I had 158, and then I was like, I have to say no.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
Because there's me.
Shoot.
Then I had to hire my neighbor next door. I had to train my neighbor next door.
Yeah. Well, and now she has her own business,
Yeah,
right?
now she has her own business, so yeah.
I mean.
And I trained her, and she's doing great, and everybody loves her, so. And
That's
then
a perfect example.
And then I trained Haley.
There's enough dogs for everyone. You don't have to feel like, oh, I gotta keep all my dogs.
And then I had to give up about 15 or so this year, and I lost probably about this COVID thing. I've lost 8 dogs this year since COVID. And so, yeah, so now I'm down to 120 dogs.
Oh my goodness! I have less than 40 clients, and I'm booked. I feel like a whiner or something.
Sure
like
my number
what?
is right on this.
I feel like a wussy. I'm like, I'm tired. I have too many clients.
85 clients and 121 dogs.
85 clients. Okay, and 121 dogs. Okay. Yes, so dogs I have more, but clients I have like less than 40 clients. I think I'm at 38, and I'm like, I can't take any more.
I have 85 clients. And
that's crazy. So Raquel. So what I was going to tell you is I was at the self-wash, washing one of my clients' Great Pyrenees, and here I am washing her, combing her, drying her, and this lady had been watching me the whole time, and I didn't know, so she's watching me, I look over, I'm like, oh, and she goes, you're really good at that. She goes, you ought to consider doing that for a living. And I was like, thank you, I'll consider it. But seriously, Raquel, if people have told you before that maybe you should be a dog groomer, maybe that's...
Find somebody that'll let apprentice under them.
Let's see here. Miguel says, I love playing with dogs. He's a groomer. Do you know Miguel? Miguel Garcia? He's up in New York. He makes like dog clothes and everything. But
cool.
Yeah, he's that's the joke. They say we play with dogs all day long.
Yeah, we don't play. That's sure.
Shauna Williams. So I'm gonna go meet Shauna. She's up in Tennessee.
Where are you?
She's in Pleasant View, where my daughters are, where Kelsey is. So she watched the video this past weekend when I was at Lizzie's shop, and she contacted me. I was like, wow, that's awesome. But so Shauna says, I'm late, but I made my first live. So excited, Jared. Yeah, awesome. And Shauna, she has the Muttley Crew Dog Salon up in Tennessee.
Oh, that's a cute name.
Yeah.
Tell her to look up the Pup Club. That's Haley's Mobile Grooming.
The Pup Club is Haley's Mobile Grooming. Haley is the young lady that Dolores trained.
And she's got an Instagram page, and I think it's called the Pup Club on Instagram.
Oh, I gotta start following it. Okay. Raquel says, I don't like big cities. Closest Walmart to me is an hour away. Oh, wow, Raquel. Raquel says, our town could use another groomer. There are more dogs than people here. Raquel, I mean, it's like you have to ask yourself, why are you drawn to grooming channels, right? Because I know you follow Go Groomer Amy. Aren't you an admin now for Amy's channel? And then you know about Janine. What is it about groomers and their videos that draws you to it, right?
Look up Pup Club in Nashville. That's her Facebook page, but she also has an Instagram page.
Nice.
And
okay,
that's her mom's dog. They did a cartoon.
Nice.
That's who she's using.
Awesome. I might contact Haley and see if I could do a ride along with her.
Oh, that'd be fun.
On my YouTube.
She'd love that. Oh my God, she'd love that.
Shauna says, whoa, I think I might be overdoing it. I have over 300. What? Definitely time to grow. What? She has over 300 clients. That's crazy.
Now, where do you get the time for that? Do you have a bather?
Right?
Does she have a bather?
Because 300, if you have 300 clients and every client just has one dog, that's still 300 dogs.
Yeah.
If you're doing a dog, 10 dogs a day, you'd have to do 100 dogs a day to get them all in a month.
Unless there's some that are, like I have some that come every 3 months because they're just washed and,
okay, so you spread it out.
Yeah, and then I've got my brush dog, I've got some dogs that come in just for brushing once a week. They just come and get brushed. Because they're like Huskies and German Shepherds and things like that.
Yeah.
So with those kind of dogs, they don't need to be big. some of them are on an 8-week schedule for a bath. Some of them are on a 3-month schedule for a bath. So, you know.
Yeah, so I guess if you spread it out, maybe
yeah.
300 clients, maybe you're doing like $20, $25 a day, maybe?
Gosh, I can't.
You need a good masseuse.
7 days a week, 24 hours a day, gee whiz.
Oh my God.
I can't imagine.
Raquel's in Alliance, Nebraska, middle of the sandhills of the panhandle of Nebraska. Alliance, Nebraska. Why do I have a sudden urge to visit Alliance, Nebraska? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You're safe, Raquel. I'm not gonna stalk you.
Don't believe him. You just need to show up at your doorstep.
Exactly. I'll be there one night, just staring in her window. Awesome. I sure will. Raquel says, yes, I've been watching for 3 years. I learned from all you guys. I'm pretty good at it. Raquel,
When Raquel come down to stay with you.
Yeah, right? Just so...
I have a guest room that's all inclusive. It has its own bathroom, its own walk-in closet, its own air conditioning heating system. It's on a different floor.
You got an offer here.
On a different floor.
Maybe even come and stay with Dolores for a couple of days and watch her and learn from her, and then go visit Amy in Pennsylvania. I'm sure she would love to have you. And you get a little taste of how Dolores does it, how Amy does it.
Yeah.
Maybe I can stop by and show you how I do it, and then you'll have more confidence knowing different styles that you can incorporate.
Yeah, and you can ask questions and
Yeah. So Raquel, you have an offer here. Miguel says, can I come to stay with you? Only if you bring condoms. Anyways, Shauna said, I'm sorry, Dolores. I should have said that. Oh my goodness.
You forgot to show my bodyguard.
Shauna says, I have a part-time bather. I'm the only groomer. I work about 14 to 16 hours a day. Yeah, you would have to get that many clients.
How do you not get burnt out?
Yeah, right?
I mean,
And I rotate them every 4 to 6 weeks. I'm not kidding though. I will show you when you come visit my shop. Oh my goodness. Shauna says, I do have some that come every 8 weeks. Okay. Wow, if you're...
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, right?
Because, I mean, over the summer I was doing...
I'm gonna come back having nightmares.
12 dogs a day, trying to get everybody caught up.
Yeah, I'm gonna wake up at like 3 a.m. and cold sweat. Like, oh my God, okay, I'm not at Shauna's place anymore.
I have a bather to help me.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so I guess after I come back from Tennessee from visiting Shauna, if I'm a little different, you'll know why. I'll be a little shell-shocked. Miguel says, I need to learn to groom from you guys. Come on, Miguel. Miguel says, that would be awesome. Yeah, I think that if anything, it might even give you a better idea of whether or not you really want to do this as a profession, because maybe this is fun for you to do for your personal dogs, but you don't want to do it for other people, you know.
Is that Raquel or Miguel?
Raquel.
Yeah, that might be.
Shauna says, I'm actually working on my last dog now. Oh my God, what time is it?
It's 8:45.
Holy crap, she's working on her last dog massage every Monday. I bet. Oh my goodness. Well, and you earned it.
She would be going until midnight
Oh my goodness. Wow. Ghislaine too, yeah. The thing is, I remember those days when I was working out of my house.
Yeah.
I would groom till 11 o'clock sometimes. And it was terrible.
Well, yeah, I was doing that in the beginning too.
In the beginning.
then I started learning to have to say no.
And also increase my prices.
Yeah, increase, and that got rid of some.
Exactly. And so now, because I increased my prices, I'm doing half the amount of dogs I used to do, but still making the same.
Yeah, exactly.
And now I'm happier.
Yeah.
Okay, 6:44 p.m. here. Oh yeah, that's right, because she's in Nebraska.
Oh yeah, that's right. She's in Central Time.
Exactly. Thank you so much, guys. I hope, this was actually very beneficial for me, so I don't even care if it helped you guys out or not. I don't even care. Shauna says, I'm so burned out, but doing what I love. Yeah. I remember one time I was grooming really late at night, and I was feeling sorry for myself, and I was, just in a bad mood, and I was crying, and I remember my ex, which is why she's my ex. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But I remember she opened the door. She checked in on me. She says, I thought you said you love grooming. And I was like, I know I said I love grooming. I was like, but it's kind of like if I told you I love baking cakes, and then you lock me in a kitchen and tell me to bake 1,000 cakes within a followers or something and all these people and that's all I can do. I was like, I would be miserable, you know? It's like, it almost made me regret saying I love grooming dogs. You know, I take it back then, you know? I don't want to be doing this. I feel like I told my wife, I feel like I'm chained to this table. I feel like I can't do anything else but just groom all day and night. And I was like, I don't love this anymore, you know? And I think that that's where you get burned out. Even doing something that you love, you get to the point where you just burn out. You have to take a holistic approach in our own lives.
Yes, me time is very important.
Downtime.
Yes, exactly. It's like we were talking, holistic is also for you because you need mental and physical strength to keep going.
Exactly. You have to incorporate stretching, massages, even just taking some time to just maybe just zone out. Go out in the woods, you know, take a walk. Time for yourself, your
Go
own.
biking, go hiking, go kayaking, whatever,
Yes.
you know, float your boat, say so to speak, and go
Yes.
do it.
There's a big difference between resting to recharge, refuel your reserves, and resting to avoid your responsibilities. There's a big difference. If you're resting just to avoid the day, that's not good.
No,
But
that
you
means
must.
you have hit burnout. and you're
Yes,
fasting.
yeah. But if you're resting to recharge, refuel, so that you can come back the next week stronger, that's very different. You shouldn't feel bad about taking time aside for yourself.
And this year has been even worse because nobody's been able to really go anywhere and do anything. I mean, that's why we took the break and said, we're doing 3 days down on the beach, we gotta find someplace. We went on to the mountains, we were just looking at numbers, and it was like, okay, well, that seems the safest numbers, less COVID. And I mean, we stayed in a condo, didn't run into anybody, we didn't have to worry about, you know, we ate out and stuff
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
almost for your own sanity.
Yeah,
You
it
have to
just-
just get away for
yeah.
a little bit.
He needed to recharge because he's been working from home since March.
Uh,
So he hasn't been out either. I mean, at least he's gone to play golf because golf was not, you know, you
Yeah.
can social distance for that. But I have been nowhere. I've done nothing. I want to see my granddaughter. I haven't been able to see her.
yeah.
And I mean, she starts school next week
Yeah.
on the 8th.
The thing is, Shauna, I think that sometimes when we raise our prices to reflect the quality that we're providing, we sometimes feel guilty. We feel bad. We
Yeah.
feel like the people, our clients aren't going to like us, and you will lose a lot of clients when you do that. I did, but
And so did I. But at
But
the same
yeah.
time, you feel like you do better quality. And
you enjoy your work more.
yeah, and you also enjoy the clients.
You
and
feel
the dogs.
appreciated more.
Yeah, the clients definitely, and they'll make up for it. Even if they're given the raise, they will still give you a good tip.
Yeah. What
Because
I
they're the
learned-
ones that stay, they appreciate you, and they know your time
Exactly.
is worth their money.
Exactly. And when you know you're being paid well, you feel more energized, more motivated, and you enjoy your work. You want to do better quality work, you know. And here's the thing, I had to learn this the hard way. Self-sacrifice always leads to resentment. When I sacrifice myself, when I do things that I don't really want to do because I want people to like me or not feel, talk bad about me, when I do things like charge less than what I really should charge so that my clients will like me more, I end up building resentment because with the lower price, I'm having to work harder, work longer, I'm not able to spend time with my daughters. And when I'm finally done with work at the end of the night, I'm so run down and exhausted, I can't even spend quality time with my daughters. When I open the fridge to cook them something, I don't even have a lot to cook with, my fridge is kind of empty, and I start to build resentment. I start feeling resentful towards my clients, and that's not good. And it's also unfair, because they don't know.
Also, the negative energy starts boiling over to the dogs.
Exactly, you start
Because
taking...
they feel what you feel.
Exactly.
And they start getting like aggravated and stuff.
Which adds to not enjoying my work
Right.
even more,
Yeah.
because I feel like I'm not even getting paid enough for this.
So holistic grooming, holistic
Self-care.
emotion and self-care
Yeah.
all go in hand. If you don't, and it doesn't matter if it's dog grooming, if it's labor, carpentry, or whatever. You won't do the quality work in any field if you don't feel whole in what you do and appreciate it in what you do.
Exactly.
And I know, and he knows, that his clients appreciate him.
Yeah.
Because they come in and they're like, oh my God, my dog's so happy to be here.
Yeah,
And
and the
they're so
checks that
happy.
they write me sometimes,
Oh God, yeah.
I will never make this mistake again. But one time the client gave me a check, I looked at it, I said, you know how much I charge, right? And she looked at me confused, and immediately I was like, what I meant to say is I thank you. I put it in my pocket before she changed her mind. I was like, what I meant to say was thank you. So I don't do that anymore. But seriously, you feel so appreciated. You feel so valued, and you want to do your best work for them because you feel valued and appreciated.
Yeah.
So, but we could talk about that more, Shauna, when I'm there. Let's see here. Miguel says, you are very handsome, June.
Okay, Miguel, this is
Yeah, right? Completely off topic. I like hot dogs.
Flirting, not holistic flirting.
But that's just so off topic and talented. Awesome. When you order me a corn dog, put mustard on it. It's like, what? Where did that come from?
Some of our clients may be watching this, so you gotta behave.
Yeah, right? Oh, glad I got to catch part of this live. You guys have a great night. Thank you, Raquel.
Bye, Raquel. Just call us if you need anything.
Yes. Miguel says, I love to go in my mental woods. Like go into the woods mentally, I guess, visualize it. Meditation is a great way.
Meditation, yes.
June, what are you drinking? Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about that. Miguel says, you guys are super nice. I thank you both for having this conversation live. Oh, thank you, Miguel. Been there many times. My 1-year anniversary is coming up and I need to get a bigger place and some help. Or might not make it. I hear you, Shauna. Do you think this is a long username? That's the username. Says, hi, kids. Miguel, I enjoy grooming my clients. That's what I was saying when I said I live to play with, I love to play with dogs. Okay, I do like 3 to 5 dogs only. Awesome, Miguel. Nice. He's a little dad.
I'll get to meet you one day.
Yeah, Miguel is.
Maybe if the world opens up again and we have some kind of a workshop or a grooming thing.
Well, I actually follow Miguel. Sometimes he goes live. He'll walk home live. Yeah, it's almost like walking home with him. Shauna says, can't wait to get some advice on pricing. I plan on increasing them, so this is good advice. I do feel exactly like that.
Yeah, and you need to write down all your expenses and then how much you need home-wise, personal.
Exactly.
And then from there, then that's where you can say how many hours you want to actually work, and then figure out how much your output is going to be and your input needs to be.
Exactly. When people ask me how much I charge, I tell them, don't even worry about it. It doesn't matter how much I charge. How much do you need to charge? Because if whatever you're charging, if you're not able to cover your expenses and sustain your lifestyle with what you're earning, then you need to increase your prices. It doesn't matter what anyone else in that area is charging.
Yeah.
You need to charge more for you.
Yeah, you gotta go with you. And I mean, like we just said, if they find a good groomer, they're gonna stay with the groomer. If they don't, then they're not your client.
Exactly.
And there'll be somebody else.
And that's okay.
And that's okay, because there'll be other people that come along, and when you say what your price is, if they're okay with it, then they're okay with it. But if the person asks, the first question they ask is, how much do you charge? I just tell them, no, I'm not even gonna talk to you.
Exactly. If that's the first question, me too. If that's the first question, then I'm not really interested in that client because they're not my client.
Right.
Because if they're only concerned about the price, then it's not my style. And the thing is, be okay with that.
The price that you, and the thing is I do not tell a price until after the meet and greet, because a person can tell me they have this particular dog, and it comes in, and it's like, it's not the dog.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, you may have gone and got this from a breeder, but that's not the breed you got.
Yeah.
Or you may have got this from the shelter, and the shelter told you it was that breed,
Yeah.
and it's not. So, literally, until you see the dog, you should never price check over the phone, because you never know.
Yeah.
I mean, some dogs.
You could give them a range.
Yeah.
You could expect the price to be
starting at for this particular, like say it's a Shih Tzu. So it could be I've got a big Shih Tzu.
Yeah.
He is bigger than most Shih Tzus. He's got
I've
long
seen
legs.
some of them big, yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh. So you can't say, well, it's $60 for this Shih Tzu when it could be a $75 Shih Tzu, because it could be, and he could have long hair, which takes twice as long, or it could be $85 because they may like keeping it down to the floor and keeping that full coat on them.
Yeah.
And that takes an hour to dry.
Yeah. It's taking me a long time, but I've gotten to the point where it doesn't even affect me at all when someone tells me that I'm not the groomer they're looking for, or I have to let them know that I'm not the right groomer for them. And being okay with that, being okay with the fact that I'm not the right groomer for these people, and not taking it personally. It doesn't have any reflection on me, it just means that we're not a good fit for each other. Imagine if I went to a bar and I started going around hitting on all the ladies there, and every time I got rejected, I got upset and angry, and I took it personally, like, you know, no. The more mature, the more self-aware thing is realizing that not all women are gonna like me, and that's okay, right? Same thing with grooming.
So you have Miguel.
I got Miguel, I don't need anybody else. But the same thing with grooming. It's almost like that. When you feel offended, or you feel upset, or you feel personally like you know, you feel bad because somebody said that you're not the right groomer for them, that's kind of like a guy feeling offended that a female that he approached at the bar didn't accept his advances, as if every female is supposed to accept my advances towards her. That's very childish thinking. That's very short-sighted. Let me see here. And then we'll wrap this up. Oh my gosh, we almost been streaming for 2 hours. I second that, Miguel. Nice. Miguel says, when it comes to charging, I'm blessed for having a really nice customer. Yeah, having really nice customers who come to me for my grooming and not my prices. I love that.
Yeah, that'll be, you know, because the first thing when you say to them is like, you can do the meet and greet, and then we'll talk about pricing. If they say anything about it. Most of mine have not asked for pricing, but if they do, that's the first thing they ask.
Yeah.
Or if somebody calls and asks, the thing they ask, or sends an email to me with, what's the price for this dog?
Yeah.
And I'll send it back, I'm sorry, but I don't do price quotes over the phone or email.
Exactly.
And then when they do come or I've talked to them over the phone and go, this is what typically I start at. They said, well, I need to talk to my husband. I know I'll never hear from him again.
Yeah.
Because that's their polite way of saying you're too high.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yay, good.
Yeah, exactly. I remember one of my clients, she told me that she told her friend to contact me about her dog, and her friend asked her, how much does he charge? And she told her friend, does that even matter?
Yeah.
And I like that. I was like, wow, thank you.
Yeah.
So he says, I have a couple of people who pay me my clothes to my business. Oh, I have a couple of people who pay me to close my business. Oh, wow. So they pay him for like the day, I guess, to close his business down for the day, because they are high profile and I love them. Nice. Awesome. And Thea Pena, she's my one and only fan on Twitter. Nice. My #1 fan on Twitter. And Thea says, sorry I'm late, but I was was watching the second half of the Shih Tzu groom. Let's call it the clench groom. Nice.
Okay.
Shauna says, I do have some pretty awesome clients. That's why I forgot the word no. I am so happy I found your channel. I love this camaraderie and groomers helping groomers. She probably meant groomers helping groomers.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for all you do. You're welcome, Shauna. Thank you for your support and participating in this live stream. I really appreciate it. Dolores, did you want to say anything?
No, it was great to get there and just kind of, you know, talk about this and to get it out there in the open, because there's been so much flashing.
I might even type up a blog about this, just to sum up the points, because I doubt people are going to watch all 2 hours of this.
I know, really.
But I wouldn't even watch it. I'm making it.
People are going to go fast for it.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to type up a blog article to go along with this. And I love it. So holistic is basically an approach to dog grooming, like your philosophy on it, and then we can some of the criteria that we went over, what holistic actually means, the definition, how it applies to dog grooming, and then the points that we made of, instead of looking for a holistic groomer, look for the specific thing that you need for your dog.
Yeah. Look for a groomer that fills the needs for your particular dog.
Exactly.
Because
one groomer might say, and it might even say on their business, right on their door, holistic dog groomer. But when you go in, they don't actually do what you're looking for.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, even though they might consider themselves
individualized. You know, and that's the thing. Is the one-on-one groomers, a lot of them do individualized.
Yeah.
Because I know my client, every single one of them. I know what type of shampoo they need.
That's a better word. Instead of holistic, that's the better word. An individualized groomer.
Yeah, individualized groomer.
I like that.
it's an individual situation because no two dogs, just like no two people, are the same. I mean, even if you get two dogs from the same household, or I've got a client that has like 4 or 5 dogs, you don't live in the neighborhood, so everybody sees this. Outside the neighborhood, but anyway, yeah. So with hers, there's 5 dogs. They have 5 different personalities. They all act different on the table. They all act different in the baths. They all act different with their nails. And everyone.
Yeah, it's a tailored approach.
Yeah.
Tailor each room to each dog's unique needs.
Exactly. And
That's what holistic
They
is.
all have skin issues with different, so we use different shampoos to tailor it that. And it's like, I started offering the Gaia treatments. And I love them.
Really?
I'm going to start doing it to myself. I mean, and literally, oh my God, June, this dog, there's dogs that have.
What is it?
No, it's Nagai. Have you ever seen the Nagai?
No.
Oh my gosh, well, I'll show
Nagai
you
treatments.
when we get done with this, I'll show you what the thing is. I had to order a new thing, but
Wow.
I mean,
Interesting.
literally dogs with no hair that had come in. I can't find this picture, of course, now, right?
And it's Nagayu?
Nagayu.
Nagayu.
It's from Japan.
Nagayu.
But I mean, no hair, and now it's coming back.
Wow, that's almost like that Yves Saint Bernard
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly. And then I had another one, I can't find it, but anyway, he started coming to me. I ran into him at the assisted living facility where my mother-in-law is. And it was a cute, sweet dog, but oh my God, he had dandruff, his hair was falling out, he had bald spots, he had scales and all this scabs and everything all over him. And I was like, you need to take him to the vet. And it's like, well, he gets bathed every 3 weeks. And I'm like, what? And
what are you washing him with?
yeah, so he doesn't bathe him. He's going to Groomer.
Oh my
The
goodness.
Groomer was bathing him.
And Dawn, every 3 weeks?
She must have been. So I was like, no. So he's been coming here, and he has long flowing. He's an Australian Terrier, and he has long flowing hair now.
Nice.
And that's just since October last year. And here it is, you're almost a year later, and we have hair, and there's no more bald spots, and the scaling and all that stuff has stopped.
Yeah, because you probably took a team approach. You're working with the vet and also making sure the parents are giving them good food, good diet at home.
Yes. We went through the whole process of what he needed to do.
It's not just grooming. It's not all on you. It's a team effort.
No, exactly. I even called, I'm part of this Westy group, and they said, have him try 1 sardine a week for the omegas.
Yeah.
And it made a huge difference too.
Wow.
So between the probiotics Scouts Honor, the Nagayu treatment every 3 weeks, his just adding to his diet the one sardine a week. That's it.
Wow.
The medicine that the doctor gave him started the process. The antibiotics and stuff.
Yeah.
And then once he was off that, it cleared up that skin condition, and then we just went from there. So all of us in unison, and he still comes every 3 weeks for baths.
Oh my
because
goodness.
he's just still having that, and that's just he just.
Yeah. So a groomer that's doing similar to what you're doing and using that holistic approach. Instead of saying, I'm a holistic dog groomer, I would just maybe take the time to make a little video or a little blog post or something, just detailing that, how you got this dog, take pictures, and how you got this dog that was basically had alopecia and got the hair to grow back by taking a holistic, natural approach where you're taking care of the whole dog's whole health.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. All right, guys.
So, perfect. I am voice messaging while grooming. Okay, perfect. This is a very interesting video. Thank you so much. Thank you, Miguel. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to go ahead and end this, but then I will go ahead and do a little blog post just to summarize the points that we covered tonight. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks, guys.